Why Sidra's utility could push it beyond Pi Network's limitations. When you compare Sidra and Pi Network, most people focus only on hype, community size, or social momentum. But if you look deeper, there's a much bigger picture that most of the market is missing: utility. Real, functional, on-chain utility is what separates short-lived projects from long-term players. And right now, Sidra is quietly building the kind of ecosystem that could push it beyond the limitations Pi Network has been struggling with for years. Today on Satoshi Guy, we're breaking down exactly why this shift is happening and what it means for early holders. First, let's address the obvious. Pi Network does have a massive user base, but that base is mostly stuck in a pre-mainnet economy. Millions of users cannot move, trade, or utilize their tokens freely. This means Pi's value is still theoretical, not realized. Sidra, on the other hand, is already operating with on-chain economics, real liquidity flows, miner-driven contribution, and developing products that plug directly into its blockchain. While Pi Network has scale, Sidra is building functioning utility, and this difference becomes more powerful with time. Second, Sidra's architecture is designed for financial integration, something Pi has not yet delivered at scale. Sidra is moving toward compliance frameworks, integrating token behavior with real-world financial tools, and preparing for wider listings. The ecosystem is not just waiting for hype, it's building the infrastructure that exchanges, institutions, and developers require before taking a project seriously. Pi Network's challenge has always been its closed nature. Until Pi opens fully, its utility remains stuck inside its own boundaries. Sidra is doing the opposite. It's expanding. Third, Sidra's momentum is driven by actual developer activity. Tools, applications, and interconnected services are being built around Sidra because the chain is accessible. Developers don't have to wait for permissions or phases. They build now, deploy now, test now. The open source environment creates compounding growth. The more apps the ecosystem gains, the more demand for the token increases. Pi Network, by restricting access for years, has slowed down developer innovation. Sidra is accelerating it. Fourth, Sidra has something crucial that Pi Network has struggled to achieve: liquidity potential. Liquidity is the lifeblood of any real token economy. With upcoming listing possibilities, growing community-driven liquidity channels, and expanding on-chain transactions, Sidra is positioning itself for real market integration. Pi, meanwhile, is still balancing between regulatory caution, internal testing, and delayed rollout. This is why Pi's price remains speculative, while Sidra is moving toward measurable market activity. Another powerful advantage Sidra holds is its utility-based demand cycle. Pi Network's mining rewards model created supply, but without full open utility, that supply cannot express real demand. Sidra's model fuels use cases directly from its ecosystem: staking, payments, smart contracts, value transfer, ecosystem credits, and more. When a token becomes the fuel of an expanding network, price and demand naturally align over time. And let's talk about ecosystem speed. Sidra's team and community are pushing updates, partnerships, and integrations far more rapidly than Pi's slow-moving framework. Pi is still transitioning to mainnet realities, while Sidra is already building systems meant for long-term economic participation. Speed matters in crypto, not just for hype, but for adoption. The projects that build fastest without breaking fundamentals tend to lead the next cycle. Finally, the biggest reason Sidra could surpass Pi Network lies in market confidence. Investors value transparency, utility, and forward motion. Sidra is delivering all three. Pi's closed environment has created doubt. Sidra's open progress creates belief. And in crypto, belief backed by utility is what drives real momentum. To sum it up, Sidra isn't competing with Pi Network's community size. It's competing with its lack of utility. And in the long run, utility always wins. For those watching closely, the writing is already on the wall. Sidra is building where Pi is waiting, and that difference could define the next major shift in this space. This is Satoshi Guy, and if you're paying attention, you're early.